very busy season right now. We're very few days away from the general elections, and Kenyans are trying to decide which way forward they're going to be taking. And I want to thank you for being here today. Kindly introduce yourself to our audience.
My name is Justina Wamae, Roots Party running mate. I'm supporting the running mate, Professor George Jakoya. And today is an eventful day. We were supposed to have the debate, and we didn't go. But we'll tell you why. I've been in politics for a while. In 2017, I ran from a vocal MP position, which was unsuccessful. I'm a wife. I'm married to Alex Kanyi. And let me tell you, Kenyans, I believe the Kenyan man is progressive. When I was young, they used to say that women in politics are not married. So my husband supporting me is indicative that Kenyan men want to support their wives to do what they love best. I'm also a mother to a 3-year-old girl. And here we are, Tingiza Muti, the Roots Party.
So we've gotten to hear so much about you and learn so much about you. And people are calling you the Iron Lady. People are calling you've shaken the country. And I don't say it's just you who's shaken the country, but both you and Professor Wajakoya, everywhere I have been in this country, whether I'm in Meru, whether I'm in Kisii, whether I'm in Nakuru, people are talking about Professor. And then last week happened, and the craziest thing happened. People fell in love with you.
Really?
You became... Everybody was saying, Justina, that's a tweet. Justina, they were so impressed with how you, I guess, held yourself in the debate and articulated your points. There's been this discussion around, is Wajakoya all about bangi and small things that people are focusing on the very small things and not really the bigger picture of what, because you guys are actually looking to change Kenya.
Yes.
You see, we have politicians who've been politicians for 30 years. It's hard for them to be anything else but politicians. True. But yourself, you're not a politician.
No.
Professor's not a politician, but you guys want to change Kenya. And I'd love to know, there's a joke. You guys met on Facebook.
Yes.
Where did you meet the fifth?
The first time, actually, we are not politicians, we are leaders, that I'll clarify. But the first time I met a prof, I saw him on Facebook, and my husband had shown me his photo. He was wearing some Gideon boots there. He's full of swag.
Yes.
Then my hubby tells me, this man is proposing to legalize bangi.
Yeah.
And he told him, I know it's going to, the way Kenyans react.
Exactly.
It's not going to work out. But my hubby, being in the diaspora at one point, told me the math and the economic benefit of it. And even he told me the classifications, the THC and the CBD. Then I was like, okay, this makes sense. Then there was this advert that was sent out they were looking for a running mate. It was sent out in the Women Leaders Forum. And I told my husband, the CV I sent in 2018 for a PS position is what I will use. So I sent it, and I just told God, you're the one who knows my heart.
Yeah.
You know I love politics. I love public service. And interestingly, I was called for an interview. And we went with my husband, and there were 9 candidates, including men.
And I hear there was even judges who were like, the panel was serious business.
It was serious. The secretariat was headed by a retired judge. So it was serious business. And that goes to show that Roots Party is focusing to be like the Conservative Party, the Republicans. These are parties that have been there since like 200 years.
Exactly.
Those parties, what they do best is that they focus on their ideology, and then they're keen on sifting out leaders. You've seen the debate in the UK, the Conservative debate.
Yes.
They are there, yes, in the same party, but everyone wants to sell their agenda. Everyone wants to be Prime Minister. That gives you the level playing field to showcase what you do best. But unfortunately, our politics in this country, you're in this bus this year, next election you're in another bus. So Roots Party was trying to show Kenyans that there is a political party that respects people education, that respects that you have your ideology, you can articulate the party manifesto. And the direction we're taking is the Republicans and the Conservative Party's direction. So I met him on Facebook. That was the first time I saw him.
Okay, when you saw his Facebook profile, like when you see someone online, because there's also if you look at pictures of Prof,
yes,
he looks so nice and cleaned up, and then he looks like something happened. So yes. So even us guy, it's confusing because there's a very polished Lushiri advocates. Yes. You're like, wow.
He calls that the capitalist.
Exactly.
Yes.
But then there's Prof.
Yes.
And I feel like for me, as someone who loves Prof and what he's about,
yes,
I genuinely think he's a blessing, because if it was someone else saying the same message, they would be looked at as crazy.
Yes.
But because Prof is educated,
yes,
because he's mature, because he's coming in terms of policies,
yes,
as much as you're going to listen to him, but you see if it was a young person saying legalize bangi, tungeambiwa we acha hizi jokes.
So uliona ule jamaa mwingine, today I saw a meme, they were saying we stole his idea.
Yes.
The guy was he was trying to sell his idea, and he was making a lot of sense, but because he was young,
yes,
they were saying he's already high. So Prof having the global exposure, being out there, and then coming back to Kenya and seeing our experiences that we're struggling with poverty, the debt, cost of high living. He saw the idea that we can legalize marijuana for economic use and economic uplift. So that Prof being the one who is pushing this agenda, it's making Kenyans to sit back and realize, wait a minute, politics is not about tribe. Politics is not about having someone doing a sarakasi, what we like doing vipindi. Politics is about what is my government going to do for me as an individual. So I'm loving this idea, and I'm very happy that Kenyans are positive. Today, when we said we are not going for the debate because of discrimination, I was expecting negative comments from Kenyans.
No.
But Kenyans were saying, yes, it's true. If they are on the same ballot paper, then why are you discriminating them?
But Justine, the honest truth is the media has decided it's a 2-horse race, to the point where they've decided the debate will be a 2-horse race.
Imagine.
Because why would you not have all 4 presidential candidates on the same panel? Because they should all be able to speak to each other and understand, okay, More is saying this, Wajakoya is saying this, DP. But if we can't be in the same room, why the separation? I guess for you guys, from your perspective, why do you think they're separating you guys?
Already they're saying that they're using a criteria that has been used world over.
Because a question of percentages.
Yeah, at the polling station, they were telling me, like in the UK, they go out for 3%, But I asked them, we cannot just do everything because other people are doing. What is our local experience? Our local experience is that Kenyans who are consumers of this production want to see the 4 of them on the same podium.
Exactly.
So they weren't supposed to do it for themselves or for their own rules. They were supposed to do it for Kenyans so that they can be satisfied. I'm telling you, I was watching and I was checking the views online, and they were low. So they did not achieve their purpose, if that is what they were looking for. So, and Professor has really engaged them. From a while back, he was saying, this 2-tier won't work. I went because I realized, okay, Ruth, I can try and show the country that Roots Party follows rules as we're engaging them. So Professor started engaging them a while back, but I think they weren't receptive. But we even went there. We stooped low and went there to engage them on a personal basis.
Because you showed up.
Yeah, we showed up. We did. But they say that rules are rules, and we had to live.
So there's something that is happening right now, and you guys have changed something in Kenyan politics. People are talking about a policy and not a personality, because if we're being very honest, Kenyan politics is about personalities.
Yes.
It's about I follow Ruto or I follow XYZ, and it's about the personality.
Yes.
And what scares these guys, I feel as though the conversation you guys are talking about a policy that you want to introduce that the people are for, but a lot of people, because again, when we look at details, we're picking at the wrong details. You guys are not talking about turning Kenya into a place where you can buy bangi on the side of the road. You're
For
talking
consumption.
about legalizing marijuana for products.
Yeah.
When you go to America, you can get lipstick that's hemp.
Yes.
You can buy you can buy so many things that are made out of hemp.
Yes.
Hemp does not get you high.
That is the thing.
But as soon as you say bangi in Kenya, unafungwa,
Of course.
you're judged.
Yes,
Even you guys are being
stigmatized.
judged that you guys are smoking.
Exactly.
Because people, why is there so much stigma on bangi, and why choose that?
We realize that, as a country, we see other countries doing so well, and we think maybe they're sharper than us, they're more intellectually better, advantaged than us. But what we realize is that their governments look out for what is their competitive edge. If you look at Kenya is 144 million in acres, but 80% they say it's dry and arid areas. So we only consume 20% of Kenya. The other area is left out. So we asked ourselves, which product can we realize that one, agriculture is the way to go, not to worry about it. Number two, which product or which plant can survive even the arid areas, so that we can utilize Kenya 100% in terms of agriculture. And we did our research and saw that marijuana or industrial hemp is used in 9 sectors. It produces over 25,000 products if utilized well. So we said this product is versatile. Even a potato can't give us these returns. And then when you look at the global prices, as it is, farm gate prices for coffee and tea is 23 shillings per kg. And then sugarcane, they're being bought for at 4,112 per ton. But marijuana is selling at 159,000 per kg. So as a business person, because not being business, being government, but thinking like a businessman. Where is the money at? And we also realize our challenge is, number one, taxes. Government is not creative on how to make money. So they end up overtaxing the Kenyan. And the burden of taxes is really affecting
businesses
Kenyan.
Can't survive anymore because you end up paying VAT and you're left with nothing.
And then even you as an individual, this electricity. For example, you buy tokens for 100 shillings.
Half of it is gone to just fees and taxes.
More than half.
I can't even see. You're told to say where.
48 shillings, you're given 6 units at 48 shillings, but 52 shillings is taxes. So as we are going, remember this debt was poised to be paid between 2021 and 2035. So the way we are heading is another 14 years of struggle. Government is not creative on fundraising. Government is increasing debt. So where does that leave us? Kenya, the government is getting donor funding. Now there's drought, we are being given donor funding.
I saw USAID gave us 14 billion yesterday. Why are we getting money? That doesn't even make sense. I feel like that money is going to be channeled into something political, or it's not money for aid. That's
number one. It will not be channeled in the right place. Number two, the more you come off as a beggar, you're disrespected. Look at a case where every time you're told Kenyans are going to the Middle East to work there, then they're reporting that
the working conditions.
The working conditions are harsh. They are calling upon the government to intervene. But if you don't have money, Jokia, you won't even have a voice.
Of course.
They say put your mouth where your money is. So our idea is to shun donor funding. Number one, let us be the ones funding people, because we'll have so much. We pay off the debt very quickly because inflation, the dollar inflation, what we paid in 2021 actually is not what you're going to pay in 2022, because the cost of the dollar has gone up. Yeah. So we'll pay more. And then also the taxes. The Kenyan is getting affected because Annalisa, I don't have money. My salary has not increased. Food is expensive. Taxes ndo easy. What is a Kenyan supposed to do? And when we started this journey, we told Kenyans that Sri Lanka was heading in the wrong direction.
Wow. And we saw it.
Then,
yeah.
So we are calling upon Kenyans to just open up their minds. And we are not here on purposes of consumption of marijuana. We are not even focusing on cannabis sativa. DCI is always arresting Kenyans.
Exactly.
Who have it. So the question is, if it's illegal now, why is it? Where are people growing it? These are cartels that are thriving. They have realized there's opportunity for market. So instead of controlling the demand, the supply, let's control the demand, because when you control supply, cartels will thrive in it. And that is a thing I learned from, he was a wrestler, he's called Jesse Ventura. Mm-hmm. He was also a governor of Minnesota. He gives his personal story. And he says his wife, after 41 years, started having epileptic attacks. And a woman who's been in marriage for 41 years, let's give and take, she's like 61 years. Yeah. So imagine an old woman having those attacks. They went for the marijuana, for medical marijuana, and her epilepsy went away. So if this is a person who is in the public domain, he's not embarrassed to share his personal story and the success story of using medicinal marijuana, then I think Kenyans, we need to move away from the mentality that the Mzungu told us it's a bad thing. If they're exploiting it for industrial and commercial, why not us? That is the challenge. We want to open up the mindset of Kenyans.
So when you go to Mashinani, or when you go to my mother or to the older people, that's where I feel like the biggest roadblock is in terms of perception and in terms of marijuana is just seen as something that's bad, as despite the medical and all the other benefits. But the conversation is not about marijuana, it's about changing Kenya. I want to know from you, as someone who's living in Kenya and seeing what's going on, why is it important for you to be a leader right now? Why do you feel the importance to be a leader right now more than ever?
Let me say, I'll speak for the parents, and this goes back to my story. My parents took out so many loans to educate me. Daystar is pricey, the UK course was pricey, the master's degree was pricey. But my parents' vision was that I'll be employed and I'm going to be independent. And then they became disappointed because I'm now 35 years. I graduated when I was 23 years. I've never been formally employed. So my parents never got their return on investment.
Of course.
My parents' story is across the country. All parents who are our age, parents who are the age of our parents, believed in one thing, that education is the key. They never expected us to live in their house beyond 25 years. But as it is, children are living even at home at 40 years because there's no employment. So when I meet the elder generation, I tell them that we know your plight. You've invested in education, and your vision was that your child will be independent. They'll even support you in paying back the loans you took out. But now there is no unemployment because of what? There are no industries. There is no demand for work, for labor or workforce. So when I talk to them, I tell them, like my people, they believe in waru. Kikuyus,
Yes.
So there's potatoes, the Irish potatoes and the sweet potatoes. They're all potatoes and they're cousins. So that is the story I give. And I tell them, you can use Irish potatoes for mukimo, but you cannot use the sweet potatoes for mukimo.
Exactly.
Sweet potatoes are for breakfast. So we first have to agree that potatoes are cousins, but they all have different functions. So I bring them back to the marijuana. Marijuana has also species or cousins to make them understand. The marijuana we're advocating for is called cannabis, or industrial hemp. The marijuana that they know, and it is illegal in Kenya, is cannabis sativa. The difference is that cannabis sativa has very small leaves, but industrial hemp or cannabis has very big leaves because it wants to produce or yield more in terms of fiber. So when we tell the parents that the control measures are very easy, we have curry, we have kefis. They'll produce the seed, the CBD seed that will
And they're
be sold.
capable.
Yes.
They're very capable.
When we have curry, they're in research. We need to go back into research and focus on research as this country. Curry has been doing research, but we've never known what
Exactly.
they do.
Because if we're looking at things like, for example, look at mumias and like Western Kenya,
Yeah.
we keep being told, bail out mumias, and then you put billions, you get nothing out. We need to get smarter and stop doing the same thing over and over again, because we're doing the same shit over and over again, expecting different results. We do not need another bailout for mumias. We need to look at the soil, we look at the area, we look at the market, what can we grow, what can we sell? Because to continue doing the same, mumias will be saved harming. It becomes a lie to where we're lying to the people of Western for votes, because we know that's their bread basket. So we're lying to them, telling them, oh, tunakuja tutawapatia pesa, tutarudisha mazi. What? You're lying.
Did you see them? They even came out and said, we are tired of being told about mumias. Be different. Actually, mumias is 99,000. It is 99,000 acres in acres. You see, that is land that we can use. The weather is good. There's land. There's workforce. We can put in the industrial hemp, and people start seeing the purpose of it, having it there, because the economies, for example, industries, textiles, food, beverage, plastic, paper. These are things we use all the time. They are also saying that the stones we get to build is no longer sustainable. The more we dig in, we end up having what are they called? Those big, the caves, when they dig out the stones, is no longer sustainable. We end up having them crashing, and you hear people dying when they're in the mining aspect. So when we can focus on industrial hemp as brick for construction, as material for insulation, we need to be different. And you're right. Why should we bail out mumias every time? Madness is doing the same thing over and over again. So when I talk to parents, I tell them, look at the industries in the 9 sectors I've mentioned. Your child is going to get a job. Your child is going to be independent. Your child is going to be able to repay help, because we all take help. Yeah. And this help will support another child. Another challenge we have. Right now, every parent knows that when my child is 4 years old, they have to go, even if it's daycare or PP1, you know that is your role as a parent, to educate your child. You have a vision that this child will grow and then they'll get a job. But when they meet us, they're unemployed, we're discouraging them. We're telling them, why should you go to school? Isn't that what we tell them? True. So even the younger parents, we're telling them, ile chuma the older parents are facing is the same thing if we don't do anything different. And let me tell you, once I explain to them that we are not out for consumption, we are out for industrialization and commercialization, the parents are very happy, because they also want to enjoy their retirement. You know, they had their own vision when they were getting married. We educate our children, we live, and then we live together as a couple. They also had their own vision. So parents are very receptive.
We saw a picture of the professor in the US, and there's a big industry in the US in terms of cannabis. Would they allow us to export to them? Like, you know how sometimes KFC tells us we can't sell their potatoes at TV because they're from Kinangop. If we grew something here the same way other countries are doing it, Malawi, Zimbabwe, Uganda, is it exportable to the US and other parts of the world? Like, would Amsterdam or other countries buy? Because we're not talking about consumption locally specifically. We're talking about export. Is there a market, ready market, or even are they willing to buy from us?
There's a ready market, because Professor went on invitation from the investors there. Okay. They wanted to even meet him, and they were telling them that even if we had our own farms, the demand is very high, because when you buy a dress today, you'll buy it doesn't mean you'll never buy another dress.
Of course.
When you buy unga today, it means you'll eat ugali next week. So the demand for marijuana products is cyclic. It goes on, you'll have to replenish.
Yeah.
But another angle we are looking at, we just don't want to focus on exportation only. We want to encourage local investors. The Kenyans were crying, the ones who have shops in Nyamakema. They say their products were burnt because of lack of quality. We are encouraging them to come together and form industries. We shall give them duty-free importation of machinery. Once they come together, they start industries in the next 9 sectors I mentioned. We are going to we are going to tax them, but they've already created employment for Kenyans. And again, we're going to lower the taxes, corporate tax.
Yeah.
We have to tax them. But at least we're giving them the opportunity that they can invest here. They can start industries in the 9 sectors, employ our people. So this marijuana is both exportation and local industries.
Is there a possibility for export processing zones, like EPZs that we have? You know how we have EPZs in some areas?
Yes.
Could there be EPZs of some similar type of concept in terms of growing marijuana or cannabis?
Yeah, those are the discussions we are having.
Okay.
And we're even looking at multinationals. They are like, if this market is there, why not? Also look at our own pan paper. Pan paper they tried to revive pan paper, but there was this law on logging that came into place, so you can no longer cut the trees. So
That sounds like a cartel.
yeah, you see. But okay, we can say we won't cut trees for environmental purposes, but marijuana also makes paper. So at least the market
Yeah, a lot of hemp paper.
Yes,
Exactly.
So the market is vast, both locally and internationally. What we are trying to prevent is the so much importation. Even toothpicks we're importing, matchsticks we're importing. How about have our own industries here, employ our people, have foreign exchange in terms of selling what we have, and it's going to encourage even creativity. Kenyans will be more creative in what they're doing. Where we will be different. We want to compete on the global arena, and that is our focus.
So you're a mom.
Yes.
What do your kids think you do? Because I would be so excited. I'd be like, my mom is on TV. Like, what do your kids think you do? And like, how old are they, and what are their names?
I have one daughter. Her name is Wambui.
Okay.
And I don't know why media calls me Wambui. I'm Mama Wambui, but my name is Wangui.
Okay.
And she's been following me on TV, and I always tell her nanny that make sure she's watching. So the nanny always takes photos of her. So she sits back and she's like, Dole, mom, she's 3 years old. Then she looks and then she says, nieke a cartoon. Because I think she cannot understand what I'm saying
Yes.
at 3 years old. But I feel that she always notices, even that advert for debate when it was coming through, when I'm sitting, she's like, Mom, Dole, Mom. So she's really excited. I know she doesn't know what I'm doing, but she's really excited. But I can speak about my relatives, my nieces, my uncles. Everyone is so excited. Even the family we are married in, they are so happy because they're feeling like, wow, this is coming home, you know? And they're encouraging me so much. Though the challenge I had with my parents are Christians, they're religious. They go to church, PCS Yukimau.
Yes.
Do you know my mom stopped going to church?
Sababu ya nini?
Because when she goes to church, people are telling, oh, your daughter is advocating for Bangi.
Lakini ya uvuti. You're looking for employment for Kenyans.
No, you see, our parents, that age before they started understanding me after JKL.
Okay.
That is when now they started realizing,
Yes.
this is making sense. But before that, she told me, because I don't want to kosana with people in church, me, I won't go. And actually, she said she'll go after elections because even the Bible says there's a season for everything.
Yes.
So she said she just pray and on a church ya TV. But my dad goes, mena zangu maswali. My dad did wenda too. But I can say my family is generally very supportive. And I mentioned about my husband. If he was not supporting me, I tell you, I would not have taken up this role. Okay, I would have felt I've shortchanged myself, but I feel my family is more important because there's no need of me coming here and I'm panicking when I go home.
Yeah.
What will be the situation? So I can say that my family is very supportive.
Okay.
Yes.
Are you scared? Like, okay, I can't imagine what you're going through. Is it exciting? Is it scary? Like, what's the emotion you're feeling right now? Because when Prof was here, he said in July, guys will be understanding what we're talking about. And true to his word, when I watched that video, I'm always like, he said July, and July came, and everybody was. So it's happening as it's going. Yes. But like, I feel like I would have to pinch myself, like. Because I saw even like the newspaper, everything is so fast.
Yes.
Is it happening fast for you? Ama we're just watching and thinking it's fast? How is it you experiencing it right now?
I feel like it's a dream come true. When I was young, we used to watch KBC. KBC was the in thing then. And then there was this show every Saturday called Dunia Wiki Hii. And then they used to bring caricatures and you'd see Margaret Thatcher there, nini. Then I used to wonder, how can I ever be like Margaret Thatcher? And then during Moi's time, there was this lady they used to say, Mkuu wa Itifaki, or head of protocol.
Yeah.
Alikuwa anaitwa Rebecca Nabutola. So when I watch news, I used to ask myself, can I ever get there? You know, I think some prayers we make, yani unasemanga kitu, but God hears you.
True.
So when I ran for Mavoko MP in 2017, and I didn't get the party ticket, despite we never had a nomination. Someone was given a
There was no nomination ticket in the constituency?
There was no nomination for Jubilee Party then. And I was so disappointed. And at that time when I was joining the party, I felt this is a party that is supporting youth.
Yeah.
And then they go ahead and give the late Kalembe a direct ticket. I was so disappointed. So when this opportunity for Roots Party came, and where I was getting into politics, I started feeling, come to think of it, the Margaret Thatcher moments I always had in my mind, Rebecca Nabutola moments. I realized, it's happening. So now we are here. I can't even open the door of my car. There's someone who's opening for me. I feel it's a dream come true. And it's encouragement to Kenyans out there. That for sure, sometimes you just imagine something and you tell your God, I want this. His timing is the best. 2017 was very bitter. I thought that was the moment, but I think God was telling me, you wait, your time is coming.
Because he gave you your moment that you deserve,
and
you know.
it is here. So his timing is always right. So I feel like it's a miracle. It's a miracle we're here.
I think you're supposed to be here, genuinely. I don't doubt it. But the curious question I have for you that I'm really curious about, I know you're not a politician.
Yes.
You're a leader. But do you look up to any politicians? Like, I can imagine if I was sitting next to maybe Ruto or Martha Karua, as much as you are a competitor to them, is there like politicians who you would say you would look up to, or like yourself? Like when you're around the politicians, how does it feel? Do you feel like one of them, or do you feel like wale watu wa TV?
Actually, I feel different. I was somewhere and we were waiting for various shows. Not the ones I'm competing with were there, but one of their representatives was there, and she's elderly. So after the debate, it was immediately after the debate. So she found me at the reception. She told me, when do Wamae? She spoke Kikuyu. When do Wamae? I was like, yes. She told me in Kikuyu, you guys are not doing right. Can you imagine you're telling people to smoke bangi?
Why are they so sad about this small nothing?
You know, I told them, Hesh, clearly you didn't watch the debate. Everyone in Kenya now knows
exactly.
They're two cousins.
Yes.
So I feel I'm different because she was telling me, no, we haven't reached there. Our policies are not working. Look at Central there. Youth are dying because of alcohol. I just asked her a question. Not because you're a mheshimiwa. How many people come to you to ask you for a job? Do you even have the options of employing them? You don't. So that is the direction you're taking. We never agreed. Actually, we disagreed. But I told her we are giving an option of that Kenyans can get a job. Kenyans can get options for investment. So when I left there, I knew she wasn't happy. But in my heart, I knew she can't support me because they have their own agenda. But the elder generation, I feel I'm different from them. Because for them, their politics was all about money and personality.
Yeah.
I also met another one who was asking me, where do you guys get money? And I told him, sisi ni watu wa kupewa fare.
When Prof came, he came with a very beaten up car. Very simple.
And then, alafu.
Hakuna madoido mingi.
Sasa nikamwambia huyo, sisi ni watu wa kupewa fare. He's like, you guys are mad. Because from where he sits, no, politics is about money, mobilizing. Can you imagine?
You're not supposed to go to politics if you don't have money.
That's
when people like Muto are running for president, he was on TV saying he has 5 billion to run. I'm like, where did you get 5 billion, number one? Can you account for it? Because if you're going to spend 5 billion to be president, that's a question mark for me. I have questions.
And that is the direction we want Kenyans to take. No one should lie to you that they have 5 billion to give. And let me tell you, I've been in politics. Do you know the maximum you can take home is 200 shillings? And you'll take, and that day the person is in your constituency, so you won't see him again because they rarely come back. So why should you take 200 shillings and sell your birthright, so to speak? So I realized that one was telling me, you guys are mad. And I told him, sisi ni watu wa kulipiwa fare. When you see us in places, someone has contributed fuel. Someone has told us, come and eat in my hotel. Come and sleep in my hotel. Others call us. Like there's a club tomorrow we're attending, the Club Tunnel. They're telling, they want to support the party, but they have a club.
Yeah.
We told them, we won't take your money without doing anything. So tomorrow we are doing an appearance.
So we can come to the club and enjoy you and Prof?
Yes.
Kutakuwa na reggae?
Kutakuwa na reggae. Kesho ni reggae na
The Tunnel. Wait, please tell us, we are going all of us.
Iko pale SGR.
Okay.
Unaona? Hao wanatusupport in their various various ways. And we've been doing this show. Guys are saying, when I say ni show, anacheka.
Yeah.
But tunataka pia mwenye anatupatia pesa aone value, amesupport chama. So we are creative in how we are making money. Kwa hivyo mtu anaweza fikiria we have so much, but I'm telling you, Kenyans of goodwill, and not ati wa Kenya wakubwa. Hata kuna mwingine, you can even buy us lunch. At least you've sustained us for that period.
Yeah.
That is the direction you want this politics to take. In a way that next time when you're doing elections, you're not mobilized to come to the ground to see a politician. It is the politician to find you at your place of work.
Yeah.
That is the respect we want. So that when mtu anaomba kazi, unajua kuomba kura ni kuomba kazi. You have
because a
questions
politician is your employee. I should come to you and tell you this is my problem, help me fix. Not you see
at the other way
yeah,
around.
because that doesn't make any sense.
Now that is the tragedy of Kenya. That is the problem we have. But I'm so happy that many Kenyans are feeling we have to change this country, and it begins with us. So our generation and Roots Party na Prof having the global exposure, we are changing the mindset of Kenyans. And every day Kenyans unaona wako positive.
Yeah.
Some feel like, oh, I owe this person. But let me tell you, don't owe him anything. Because tuko hapa tutafuta kazi. Angalia mwenye atakusukuma vizuri, mwenye ataangalia aspirations zako na za familia yako.
When you look at the IBC and how it is constituted currently, are you confident? Like, do you have any concerns? Are you confident? How do you feel about the elections, like as of right now, in terms of preparedness, in terms of what's going on? Is everything up to your standard, or is there anything you want done better?
My feeling is that the old order way of doing things is actually the reason why you see Kenyans fight. And by this, someone told me, we are so happy that you guys are there. Even if they are calling you the third force, it's helping this country. 207, there were only 2 horses.
Yeah.
And that is why 207 and the post-election violence happened. But the fact that we are 3 of us, no, you're not at either or, you're in between. So it's bringing some balance. But the unfortunate thing is that from where I sit, I get communication all the time that IBC has communicated. Like tomorrow, we are going to they have called party officials to go to the airport at 11 to witness arrival of ballot papers. Presidential ballot papers are arriving tomorrow at 11. IBC has been giving communication about every process. Even some people are in Greece following up on the Kim's kit and their trainings. So I feel that politicians are taking advantage of IEBC, trying to blame the referee. But they're not realizing the more you blame the referee, the more you're making Kenyans feel like the referee is not, they're lacking confidence in the referee.
Okay.
And then if something happens, like they're staging, they're putting a stage to say that if I lose, IBC is to blame. But we're forgetting...
Exactly. We're making excuses even before we go to the ballot. Why are we looking for excuses? See, you study for the exam, you pass. But if you've just been told exam is on the 9th,
unaanza sema mwalimu sijui exam, unaanza unapoteza confidence ya Kenyans. And let me tell you, it's making Kenyans,
because Kenyans, they have given up already. A lot of Kenyans do not think that if they vote there's an impact.
That is
they think that their vote is going to, because that's what politicians are saying out there. When you go to the podium and say tutaibiwa, you're literally causing more. You're doing worse than incitement, in my humble opinion.
That is the thing, and that is why we are telling Kenyans, look at Roots Party. We are telling you we are going to get our money for projects, how we are going to deal with corruption, how we are going to make sure devolution is realized fully. Because you see, they are always complaining. Governors are saying 15% allocation does not reach them. At times it comes at 10%.
It's supposed to be 35. They're barely even getting 10. And the counties, the national government keeps the money thinking, ha, but they don't understand that's healthcare that's going to shit. There's so many things that they're messing up. You can't do that.
Including suppliers who've been auctioned because they delivered, but they were never paid. And our agenda, when we say we are going to suspend parts of the Constitution, that is Chapter 11 on devolution. Instead of counties being given 15% to manage, we want them to organize themselves in the former 8 provinces. They already have their own caucuses, like Northeastern have NOREB, so the Kamba one have SOSEC, something like that. When they organize themselves in caucuses, they appropriate their revenue. They say this time we are funding blah, blah, blah. But they're only going to give Roots national government 10%. So already we have changed the game in that national government will fund their own projects independently. The 10% is just purposes of administration cost and, a road that has passed there. That is a game changer. Because Kenyans are saying, okay, doctors have not been paid, they're striking. Yeah. There's no medicine in hospital. Suppliers have not been paid. County projects
and the governors get blamed, but the governor, Ministry of Health, KEMSA, there's so many weird places where you have to break through red tape. We make it we've devolved, but we've made it difficult.
Exactly. And then when you hear KEMSA, they're saying where we are not delivering medicine in counties, they have not paid. So we want them to manage their money in a way they're even paying KEMSA very fast. We even want to open it up and say if there are other pharmaceuticals or someone else who's selling medicine cheaply, they can come and pitch in the counties. Now counties one they can buy. If it's medical equipment, it shouldn't be necessarily national government is buying. If Philips wants to come and pitch or whoever, and counties, of course there'll be a secretariat, and we're going to be very firm on corruption, so there's no issue of kickback as a governor or even your secretariat, but we want to open it up in a way to encourage efficiency and effectiveness, so that county service delivery is made very, comes off that Kenyans are getting what they deserve. So that's the game changer. And Kenyans are saying, why are you suspending the constitution? It is parts like chapter 11 which is not working. So when we do that, we are telling Kenyans we are different, we are fresh, we are new, we want the best for this country. We are not even interested in the salaries or Suji power. Our vision, when I look into a Roots Party government, Prof will be going out there looking for markets. Then you see the MOA used to be with farmers when they're building gabions.
Yes.
That is how I see myself in future. That I'm with the farmers, we are looking at the
utaringa uanze kuwa na VXs na bodyguards atukuoni upatikani mteja, charity can't find you.
If Moi did it, remember they used to see him. Alafu we are being told that Matisela erosion, they used to call it kumomonyoko wa udongo. If you used to see him, they are building gabions. If Moi did it, why not us? That is the mentality we want to bring in. See, we want to be with the Kenyans. We want Kenyans to feel that their government is working for them. And the direction Roots Party is taking is the direction Kenya should be.
So there's two things I want to ask you about. One is your manifesto.
Yes.
I love your manifesto because a lot of times watu wanaenda wanafanya press conference, they rent out a whole KICC to tell you a lot of kizungu mingi.
Yes.
Your manifesto as Roots Party is very simple, very easy to articulate. Anybody can read it and understand and be able to ask questions. So it makes it easier for people to discuss a manifesto. As if it was a 10-page document, how do we go through all of this? So I want to know about the manifesto that Roots has, but more importantly, I want to know from you, as someone who's in Roots Party, why this party? Because I love the discussion about the root of Kenya's problems is in the corruption. It's in because I always say there's no corrupt police officer without a corrupt Kenyan.
That is the thing.
If I hunger the policeman, I'm as bad because I'm doing the same thing.
You are baiting it. Yes.
So I would like for us to get rid of debt, and you guys are talking about debt and tackling it. And you're not just saying we take care of debt. You're saying we can use money that. I love the Bangi story because we can use that money for Bangi to pay the debt.
Yes.
I'm even willing to vote for whoever's, because these guys who have money, why can't they pay the debt off instead of using all this money? But in terms of the manifesto and debt, explain to me Roots Party in terms of the manifesto, the clarity of it, and then why you guys think debt is important and why you guys want to tackle that.
The theme of our manifesto is that we want to focus on an economic upswing. We want Kenyans, the local mwananchi, to feel that their government is working for them. And Mswahili alisema fimbo ya mbali hayui nyoka. So for us, we're telling Kenyans, fimbo ni shamba uko nayo. There's been so much rural to urban migration. Someone leaves their shamba idle, anaona farming haina pesa. They come to Nairobi to do the boda riders, and then you come here, fuel cost inaenda juu, so you're not even making anything. So we are saying fimbo ni hiyo shamba you have at home, where you're going to plant industrial hemp, you're going to be sustainable, you're going to be able to manage your basics. So that is the vision. We also have this idea of snake farming. When you look at the situation as it is, Kenya imports anti-venom from South Africa and India. Those are the biggest suppliers in this country. But they sell for you an antivenom at 13,500. And remember, if you're bitten by a snake, you need between 5 to 10 vials of that antivenom so that you get
13,500 a piece.
That is 135,000.
Wow.
That means many a times that Kenyans don't have that money, so they die. So when they tell us that 3 Kenyans die weekly because of snake bites, it makes sense. Another challenge is that the snakes are over 3,000 species in the whole world. So necessarily the snake that is in South Africa or India is not the snake we have here.
You have a specific species. Yeah.
So if you're bitten by a snake that the antivenom is not there, you'll end up dying. So our role is to change this mindset. The amplify, actually. There is this law, Wildlife Conservation Act 2013. KWS, it was focusing on snake farming as an alternative income generating activity. And they were saying that you can rear the snake for antivenom, you can rear the snake for the meat for markets that consume, you can rear the snake for the skin. You can buy shoes and handbags. So as we wanted to plug into this and tell Kenyans, once you express interest at KWS, they'll come inspect your premises, they'll advise you, they'll teach you on how to rear the snakes, and they even advise you where you're going to get the snakes. And as it is, we have a research center on Ngong Road, government sponsored. It's called IPRA. They're focusing on snakes and antivenom. It's only just, it hasn't been, jump started, but it's already there. So what we're telling Kenyans is that if we have the snakes, we are rearing the snakes, the antivenom, we can compete with the other 2 countries.
Can I ask you an important question that's related to this?
Yes.
In regards to the venom, there's something you've said that I want to confirm because it makes the most sense to me. Does that mean that if I get antivenom, let's say the antivenoms are coming from India and South Africa, they're probably for the snakes that cohabit or live in that environment. Yes. So for the snakes that are biting people in Lamu or in Samburu, the venom might not necessarily, the venom from South Africa or India might not necessarily be the right. So if you have the venom from the local snakes, you can actually treat these people.
Yes.
Because you see people looking at you guys like you're crazy. I have to understand because when I say, ati kufuga nyoka, my pastor said, hizo za kufuga nyoka, hizo za bangi, atutaki. Pastors do not like you guys because they think you guys are on some wachawi.
Yes.
But if you break it down and tell me, okay, the venom from a snake that will bite me in Lamu, that's the same venom is not the same as a South African snake or an Amazon snake.
They give you an equivalent of
now
the venom.
Now you see, we don't give you guys enough time or media coverage to break down these issues. We just get the headline.
Yes.
Bangi.
Snake farming.
Hyena balls. And then it becomes, guy, how watu ni wabaya? How watu ni wabaya?
So a pastor did something that the Lord has spoken to him that we are devil worshippers. But there's something I'm telling Kenyans. Bangi, snakes and those feces and everything we're advocating, even snails farming, we didn't have time to articulate. When God created earth, these animals were part of his creation. So we are telling them, kazi ya Mungu haina makosa. It is us to look at how can we exploit what we have, our natural resource.
I love that you guys are thinking out of the box because you're looking for different solutions to our problems because Kenya has problems, and anybody who lives in Kenya except maybe Uhuru knows the price of bread is going up, fuel is going up, the rent is going up, everything in this country is going up. You leave the house, even Fuliza is the only thing that stays constant.
Imagine.
So we have to look at solutions that are not normal because if you say we go to school and get a job, all of us have gone to have 3 master's degrees as an insider na nini. So I like that you guys are looking at things from a different approach. But the selling it's hard to sell to people who are stuck in their ways. How are you guys managing? Mukienda mashinani. Do they think you're crazy or what do they say?
Aki mashinani wanatupenda na wanatupenda bure. Remember, hatuna billboards, hatuna t-shirts, hatuna merchandise, hatuna pesa. But let me tell you, wanatupenda bure. And I think Kenyans wakituonesha hivyo, they are trying to show us aki you guys, Mungu amesikia kilio chetu. Mungu ameona enyewe, you're the only guys who are going to help us because ukiangalia kule ground, people are struggling.
The young people love you guys.
And guys are unemployed. Yani you find ata parents who have shambas. Like my mom-in-law, she brought up her kids with her husband. They brought up their kids with tea at the time. And my Abby tells me the way they were so strict, they used to, chuna the majani inapelekwa buying centers. Right now, when you go to a farm, where she used to have tea, ameachilia, even zimekuwa mamiti refill.
Do you know that the tea auction right now, the prices of the tea auctions are so high, the tea goes to the auction, it's taken back to the store. Because Pakistan, India are not going to buy at that high price. That Munya has decided, this is the price we're going to sell, we're not going lower. You're literally killing the market because in a store every day. Imagine. Some farmers, KTD has to borrow to pay bonuses, where they used to pay billions in bonuses. They're borrowing to pay bonus because government agriculture has said, we're going to keep it at a high price because we want to please farmers. But you're keeping it at a high price and not selling anything.
Cost. Unaona? And what if we compete in the market and they say Pakistani tea is better than Kenya because of this?
Yes.
Then we're going to research and say, what is our competitive edge? We're going to continuous improvement. That is the idea we want Kenyans to look at. Wakisema tea our tea inanunuliwa cheaply because of quality. Then we say next season, tunaleta something better.
Exactly.
That is how we are going to compete in the global market. Lakini now, these short-term solutions ndio zinatumaliza. After election.
At 6,000 bob and a wheelbarrow. 6,000 bob will not help me. Zero. Don't give me 6,000. I don't need it.
Money? Kwanza watuambie, they tell Kenyans, aren't they going to increase taxes and more debt?
But taxes, we don't have money to pay taxes because we don't have jobs or no businesses. How are we going to pay taxes when we have no economy? You kill the economy, so we're supposed to pay you with what?
And yet, as you're saying, we are going to widen the tax base. If there's so many industries and many people are working, we should even lower the VAT to less than, you know what,
Exactly.
we're paying 16%. Corporate tax should be less than 30%. Hata ya individuals, pay. No,
Yeah.
hata your tax band, whatever your tax in a band should be lowered. Because remember, our government will not just focus on taxes. Kulalu Galana is one of the projects that are there, 1 million acre project. And like I said, 10% of 144 million acres is 14 million. That one is classified as government land and reserve. So we can use this
Which should be
land.
irrigated. It should also be irrigated.
Yes.
It's this investment that was put into that.
Yeah, this land, we can use this land instead of it staying idle and people are saying it's being grabbed. Why don't we have our own industrial hemp, government industrial hemp, and also focus on being, we can look into selling it, exporting it to meet the demands that Kenyans are also producing. So our idea is making Kenyans realize that government does not have money. If government had money, all those suppliers who demonstrate on TV every day would have been paid on time. They would not have been auctioned by banks and then banks do not even consider you an LPO. They see an LPO, they throw you out because they know they will not be paid. So we want to change the perception that government does not have money. We accept, ishafanyika, let us look for money to salvage our situation.
I have a random question for you.
Yes.
Did you prepare for the debate? Can someone even prepare for a debate?
Let me be very honest. When they gave when they gave me the invitation letter, they had written the thematic areas. Yeah, they tell you the thematic areas, but they don't tell you the exact questions. So you see, I had prepared. Actually, the thematic areas were 8. I felt so wasted because we never handled.
We were ready.
Handle national aspirations, devolution hatuku handle maneno ya, justice. Hizo vitu zote hatuku handle. I was very prepared. And in fact, I've been preparing for so long. It got to a point when I was waking up that morning. Imagine when my hubby called me, nilikuwa naota na debate. I think nilikuwa naota na debate. So I prepared because I needed to do something. Number one, from where I sit, I can say, I'm humbly saying this, that I'm the senior most youth. Being 35, I'm representing another set of youth who are behind me. Youth who've ran for MCA, senator, governor. We are MP youths have really come out. I needed to show that I'm there representing that huyu youth anaweza. From where I was, I'm also representing the young women. And I'm telling people that mimi sibishani, I respect Martha so much. Atubishani, we're only trying to show Kenyans these are our ideas. You're going to choose who you want. Yeah. I'm trying to show also that the younger women have a voice. These old elderly women do around all the time. I needed to show them that even the younger women have a voice and they know what they're doing. So I really had to prepare kabisa. And I think I did a good job.
You did an amazing job because your articulation of points and your ability to speak about, you're speaking about serious issues, but you still have almost, you're relatable. I'll say that about you. I genuinely love the fact that you're someone who I feel like gets it. I don't feel like you're out of touch with the reality. There's people who you'll sit down with, they've been in leadership or in power for so long, they've forgotten even the small basic things, So I feel like you relate to what Kenyans are going through right now, and it's a perfect scenario because you're the perfect person to go in there and you understand. You're a mother, you're a wife, you're going through the day-to-day, you understand the struggles we're all going through.
But the benefit I had, joke here, is that the 3 I realized they had been scripted. So those guys were so controlled, you can't say anything out of the script. But for me, Prof is so democratic. I remember he did an interview the previous day and he was asked, is your running mate going? He said, yes, my running mate is going because I don't control her. She has her own mind and the Roots Party is democratic. So I give it up to Prof for that. But he also gave me the right to research and, do my own thing. Yeah. So I wasn't scripted. So I was speaking from my heart, from what I knew. But
and you guys don't repeat each other. You see, you're not reading ati mumerihas ati tutasema hivi leo. And that's authentic. That's why we are loving you guys and we're relating with you guys because it's like, this is someone who you guys are not. You're not lying to us. You're telling us how to do something differently, but it's not a lie.
Yes.
It's for us as Kenyans to buy into your vision,
Yes.
vote for you, and see how we can actualize these dreams that we have. Because we all want to get out of debt.
Yes.
We all want jobs.
Yes.
We all want an economy that's thriving. We all want to be not surviving on Fuliza. We want a president who's not gonna say nifanye nini.
Kwanza unajua Fuliza, it's really affecting Kenyans. I have my guys, I'm in construction. My operators tell me they always call me, mi sichukwangi simu, hiyo ni shida yao. Because wananiambia I took 20k. It's true. Fuliza ni 3,500 maximum yake. Hata hizi matala mwingine ananiambia alichukua 20k na hata wewe ilipa wampeleke kule watu.
Watu wanazimanga sim card. You got a new sim card. You start a new life because your number unasahau.
Sasa huyu mtu aliniambia ati mimi nikichukua hii alafu how do you expect me to pay back? Imagine mshahara ni ile. Unaona? So kama umechukua 3,500 ili kusukuma hiyo mwezi and then you expect me nitoe 3,500 nilipe hiyo deni, how? Nitalipa na nini?
Exactly.
Na already madeni yamejaa, so it becomes a cyclic debt, thingy all the time. Uko na deni,
people Fuliza to pay Mshwari and Mshwari to pay Fuliza, so it's
alafu they are giving you back a KCB, they are giving you others, so wanasema hapana, hii Fuliza inatumiza, and I'm sure even them they're losing out on money because Kenyans are not repaying.
Exactly.
Hata mweke kwa CRB, someone was telling me hata tupeleke CRB, hata watatufanyia nini?
And it's because I feel like our systems and structures are broken.
Yes.
We do not have systems and structures that, you see, if things worked in this country, we would have a system where things were working. Yes. But does Roots have a plan to get Kenya working again?
That is our vision is number one, to make use of what we have. Fimbo ya karibu ni nini? Ni hiyo shamba we have. Unaona? So that watu wache kukuja Nairobi, everyone is a boda rider. And by the way, if you ask them, many of them tell me, tuko na mashamba ushago. Ni venye we saw farming didn't have income and we needed to feed our families. We came to Nairobi. First is to decongest Nairobi. Let guys go back to the counties. Let guys invest na shamba zao. As our role is to look for market, and Professor is doing that. I can also touch into snail farming. 1 kg of snail meat goes for 2k. But the challenge they're facing, like in Nakuru, they're doing it, is lack of market. So our role as government is to even look for market, local and external and internal markets. Ndio hata farma yake akiuza na kuna ya strip hapo Nakuru, wanaeka proceeds zao zinaenda kuuzwa. Yeah. So once we look for markets, and that is Roots, any professor is good at that. He's been out there, he has links, he has experience. It can be done. Sisi locally, we start even changing alternative feeding. Si lazima ukule kuku. Si lazima ukule, even snail is nutrition. Yeah. Snail is used, they're saying, for cosmetics. It makes you, cosmetic stuff, women creams, mafuta. Tukitengeneza hizo market, I'm telling you, Kenyan is going to be on a trajectory that we won't even believe we are there. So
you guys are talking about new markets. You're not saying turudi kwa chai, you're saying we find new markets for this country as we grow this country.
We are looking at the competitive edge. Where is thriving right now? But you're also telling Kenyans, you have a right to choose. If your Mira is doing good, if your tea is doing good, if your coffee is doing good, please continue doing what you're doing. All you're doing is to give alternatives. Remember Bitange Demo at one time said that Kenyans lack creativity of investment. If it is quail farming,
everybody wants to build apartments because they think that and then, but if you tell someone to be invested, you guys are, it's like, I feel like you're talking about crypto to guys who only know how to buy mashambas. Ati crypto ni nini? Ati Bitcoin. So you have, and people who've been in that system so long, they'll never buy crypto.
Yes.
They rather take the 10 million.
Yes. Afadhali ekele flat. And then zinaenda zinakuwa no one is renting, hakuna pesa. So sisi tunataka kuambia Kenyans, let's have alternative revenue streams that you can do snake, you can do snail, you can do bangi, you can do your tea if it's doing. Even milk farming, dairy farming, it has a lot of challenge right now. Animal feed is very costly, and that is why milk has gone high in terms that 1 liter is 70 shillings, because the animal feed you're buying unashindwa kulisha ngombe wako, so he's not producing much in terms of milk. But industrial hemp also makes animal feed, so even we can have an industry.
So that same cannabis that we want to grow, we can use it for food, we can use it for products, we can use it for so many different things.
It is versatile. It can be used for so many purposes. So even animal feed, we'll have competition in that. Kwa hivyo animal feed itashuka chini. Dairy farmers will produce more in terms of milk. Kuku farmers, chicken farmers will have chicken feed that is affordable. And when we promise even the kids, now we're telling kids that Professor Wajakoya and Roots Party is promising you maziwa ya Roots na mayai ya Roots.
Yes, I read about that.
We are cognizant of the fact that many Kenyans parents are not able to feed their children, so they come to school when they're hungry. That is a feeding program. We are boosting the proteins aspect.
But also you're giving jobs to farmers so they can supply to the schools.
Yes.
And that's a countrywide supply system that you're going to be creating.
Now you see that's already a market. So our idea is to make sure that Kenyans are comfortable. Kenyans have their own money. And let me add this. When I was running for Mavoko in 2017, later we had a sit down with the MP, the incumbent. And he told me, do you know, Justina, you are hitting me on issues of bursary. Let me school you. And I love to be schooled. He told me, look at the money we allocated for CDF. This has to go into bursary. This has to go into whatever, other projects. He told me, when someone comes to you and they tell you that Mheshimiwa anawapatia 3,000 bursary, the school fees is 20,000. I'm always challenged in how to, who is more needy than the other.
Yeah, how do you balance? How do I give you need 20, you need 50, I can't give you the amount you want. How do we balance it?
So that everyone can get something. So he told me they're even having challenges of funding this bursary. Even Kenyans are thinking they're lying. Wanakuja wanachukua majina.
Because people think MP ndo nakulanga bursary na marafiki zake.
Imagine wananga pesa. Hawana. So even you need to change this idea that MP has a bursary to give you. No, in fact, if free education is realized through your bank industrial hemp ya serikali, we'll have our own money to increase salaries of teachers, ya police, civil servants. We are going to run more projects. If we say free education, it is free because we only have our own income on how we are running our budget. Na mimi nikasema, nikaona nye the MP was very right. So serikali doesn't have money to do these things. Now tuache kuona ati you lied to government that you'll be given 5 billion. Ask that person from where.
I love that you're willing to learn and you're willing to listen to even someone who might have a different opinion.
Yes.
There's something I really want to ask you. Prof scares me in one way. Prof scares me because he seems the kind of guy who akisema atafanya. And that's something I like. I like someone who's not just going to talk about something, but they're going to do something. And Prof has a different way of he wants to be firm.
Yes.
And there's a fear of him almost being a dictator or him. But I feel like Kenya does need that kind of firm leader. But you as someone who interacts with him on a daily basis, who's gotten to know him, yes, he's firm and he's about what he says. I don't doubt that he's about what he says. But do you get dictator vibes from him? Are you afraid at all? Or because I like the fact that he says, okay, we're gonna do this. I like someone who can say and do something. But are you scared at all?
No, actually, Prof is the most easiest person you can relate to.
Okay.
When he gets into the show, he's now Prof.
Yes.
But if you one-on-one, he's so easy. He's someone who, you can have a conversation. In fact, sometimes I look at him and then I look at the Prof I saw on telly. I'm like, are you the same person? He's the most easiest person to work with. And I think that's how we manage to blend in. I'm also very easy to work with. And I can adapt to any situation. There's a time I went on some radio and they were asking me, what do you do? And I tell them, if you go to some Stone Kule Airways in Utawala, there's a stone I used to sit on. Most guys are telling me, when we used to sit with you there, we never realized that this is you. Everyone is wondering, is this Justina? Yeah. She speaks English, good English for that matter. So I can adapt to anything. And Prof is the most easiest person. And when he always asks you, what do you think about this? So I love the fact that he's young in mind. He's not that because I'm older than you.
Exactly.
No. He's an easy guy to work with.
Okay.
So I'm never scared of him. But I respect him though, but I'm not scared of him.
When you guys win this election, what would be the plan of implementing your ideas and policies? Because you guys have a lot of different things that you want to do when you do get into office. I guess a concern or a thought I have that I want to ask you about is politics. A lot of things happen with parties. Yeah. So if you guys, let's say, won the presidency, but now had to deal with passing laws in the Senate or in Parliament, how do you do that without because that's why this Azimio UDA nonsense is cute, because they have numbers. But you guys have numbers in the sense of your ideologies are resonating with 99% of Kenyans, except the ones who don't like. But how do you implement these policies without the whole political machinery? Because you have the will of the people and the people who love what you guys are talking about, but the political machinery is hard to navigate. Or do you not feel that as a limitation?
It's not a limitation, because when we look back, when Roots was starting, or when Prof started popularizing the party, many people dispelled him as a joker, and many people refused to join our party. And then after they were done character development, they wanted to join us, but we told them no, we wanted to be your first option. Yeah. But we also wanted to work with people who had our vision at heart. But this is not a limitation, because I can give an example. The current president, Uhuru Kenyatta, in 2017, everyone who was running for whatever seat always had his photo on the poster. But when it got back to work, do you know he had to go get Raila Odinga's team to support him in implementation? So that shows even your brother can leave you in challenges. Our idea is that this is even when Kenyans will see the independence of the three arms of government. And Makyu Jokia, do you know all these guys, if it's governors, they're loving ideas and they're calling us secretly. If it's MPs, they're like, yeah, you guys, munaona mali tunafinyika. They are really happy that we have an idea, but they want to do it chini ya maji. So one thing we know that when we have the public participation with them, they're going to look at the future of this country. And because MPs and governors as representatives of Kenyans, we are telling Kenyans that, dear Kenyan, if we do something when we in power and your MP is refusing and it is beneficial to you, sema umemulika. That one, they'll be afraid. But also there's also precedents, like the NMS, Nairobi Metropolitan Services. It was not passed in bunge.
Yeah.
It was an executive order. So kuna zingine, wakikataa, tunafanya the executive order. But it's not something that is going to be detrimental to our people. It is something that is going to add value. So that even when Kenyans look back, they're like, it was important or it was imperative for Roots Party government to do this. So we are not scared. And I'm sure we are going to work with them. Kama Uhuru ilibidi atafute usaidizi nje.
Yes. So, this is my prediction.
Yes.
I see Prof getting a lot of votes. I think the minimum he could get is 1 million, in my opinion. I see him getting over 2 million votes. And I see a runoff scenario. In a runoff scenario, does Roots, what does Roots do in the event that we shake the system? We said tumekuja kutingiza miti sasa shukeni we panga vizuri, because I'd rather have a runoff than a handshake between Ruto and Raila, because that's the easy out for these guys. Are boys. Yes. They drink tea and they're laughing together. They call neighbors. It hawana mashida. Sisi ndio tuko na mashida. I promise you, them they laugh together. Their kids they have no enmity. But in a runoff scenario, how do we ensure we don't bring these guys back?
Okay, the tragedy of runoff is that it is either the first two who didn't get 40, who didn't get 50 plus 1 compete. But of course, the number 2 will have to look for us so that they can top up his numbers to win the number 1.
Would you guys work with anyone?
We are ready. We're open to work with anyone, but we have our own irreducible minimums. Unagonga siku Raila pia yakisema. Pia si tuko na zetu. Government owns 14 million acres. Kenya is 144, so they own 10%. The one who will give us the 10% of what government has as idle land to then implement this project, even if it is restricted, and we see that it's working, that is the person we're going to work with. Because the most important thing we have to do to this country is to lower debt and to pay off debt and to lower taxes.
Exactly.
So whoever who buys into idea, who wants us on board, must give us. Already they have not even outlined how they're going to utilize government land. So it's going to be idle either way. So whoever,
you guys have a plan. Yes. Why not implement the plan?
So they give us those 14 million acres, whatever million acres they want to give us. We do this project so that in 1 year Kenyans can ask us. Okay, even then they can ask us. We'll have the KPIs. You guys, we gave you this. What have you achieved so far? And our interest is that Kenyans are happy. Kenyans are no longer stressed. And something else, Kenyans, we are always told that banking makes you go mad. But if you look at the statistics, 3 million Kenyans have mental challenges. Yet banking.
Mental health is a huge issue in this country, especially with the young people.
Because of what? Unemployment, high cost of living.
Bro, you're stressed out. Your parents want you to get out the house. You can't get a job. Like, people are moving on with their lives. You're stuck in your situation. There. Of course, you're going to lose your mind. And there's no support system in the sense of the government is not going to come and help you.
Imagine whatever you try go get a license.
There's nothing.
Stress
to get a job. You need a good conduct. Good conduct needs money to go to do any to is it. I need good money for everything to go. There's nothing, and I don't have money.
Imagine.
So I'm supposed to stay in my mom's house. She wants me out of the house. What are we going to?
Mental health. So when they say wanaekelea bangi, ni high cost of living, unemployment, watu wamekuwa desperate. Someone, even if you're a guy, you can't get married, your girlfriend has left you because you don't have money. This time.
Hata dowry, siku hizi tunaambiwa kama una dowry uende.
Alafu hizo vitu utakosaje kukuwa na mental health issues. Kwa hivyo as you are saying, ule mwenye atatupatia 10% ama whatever, they can say we want to give you 10% yote, we'll give you 5. Whoever who is willing to implement this project, because it is a going concern, other countries are doing it, is the one we're going to support.
Wow. I have a lot of respect for what you guys are doing. I'm really excited that people are looking at new solutions to deal with the problems we have. We want an election that's peaceful. We want Kenyans to go to the ballot and make a decision, and a decision that is theirs. Because we also have a lot of conversations about stealing of elections and rigging, and I don't like that this is happening right now, because the last 3 days I've been watching the news and a lot of sees IBC, Venezuela, and I feel like these kind of things start to scare Kenyans.
Yes.
I'd rather you figure out you don't need to be coming out to the media until you figure out the facts. Don't start telling us we think that this happened. I feel like it's not safe to be doing that right now.
It's not. And that is why we are saying that is old order mindset. They want to keep on doing what they always do, that if I lose, IBC is to blame. But us as Roots Party, we have seen IBC has been involving us in every step, let me tell you. So I'm wondering, these ones who are complaining, wale wakubwa, us hatuna shida. We know our supporters will vote. We are going to avail agents in all 46,300 polling stations. Iyo tumejipanga. So
how are you guys going to manage that?
Let me tell you, something is coming up, and I'll send you a message so that you can amplify. But we're planning, like, we can have a concert towards the very end.
Ooh.
A concert. Guys will pay, that is supporting towards the concert. But the vile tutafanya is getting money so that our agents wakwe too facilitated.
Exactly.
That is the idea we're having. And
so no big lunches at Safari Park to raise millions with, I don't know, with big people with big stomachs who nothing.
Concert tutakuwa hapo sote paka nyinyi. We'll even invite you guys, so that you can hype it for us. That is the idea. So that Kenyans can feel kura yangu italindwa, and I'll be supporting them in facilitating their agents. That is the idea we have right now, and we are building on it.
Okay.
So
please invite us. We can make that a thing.
Kabisa.
We'd love to make that a thing.
Sawa. We'll involve you. So these are the directions we are taking, and we're telling Kenyans, don't be afraid. For the 4.4 million Kenyans who do want to vote, Roots Party is giving you an option, and it's something that is pragmatic. The other ones who are decided, are they working for you? If not, convert and vote for Roots. So your vote is safe as we are focusing on peace. Let me tell you, we know that there's this song they play, everything they want to blame it on a Rasta man. So we know that Kenyans wanatuangalia, wanatumulika vibaya. So we tell our supporters, we are very peaceful people. Ours is a battle of ideologies, si personalities.
Yeah.
So do not have an incident. Usitukane mtu, we muzie sera yako venye uko iko. And you've not heard anywhere we've had issues.
No.
Kenyans
no violence, nothing.
Yani tunafika hivi gari inasimama, and we don't do mobilization. Let me tell you, Njokia. We just go gari inasimama Wajakoya, guys just come. So we are not using any money for mobilization. We are talking to the real Kenyans who are voters. Wanatusikia na tunawapata kwa makazi zao. So what else does Kenya need? Just different mindset in politics, different mindset in terms of what we expect from our leaders. We have musicians who do a good job. They compete out there, they do well. We have athletes who do a good job. They are our pride. But when it comes to leadership, we have low self-esteem. Yeah. Why is it so?
I feel like because we have people who want to be leaders for the wrong reasons. And I'll be honest with you. When I look around right now, I see so many billboards. And if I had the chance, I would want to know, like, from the people who are running for office, are you running? Why are you running? Are you running because you want to be popular? Are you running because you are popular? Because I don't think Kenya has an influx of so many good leaders. But there's so many people out here giving themselves up. But are they deserving, or are they worth? I don't even know if some of them are worthy of us, because Kenyans don't need another person to come and waste their time.
But they have money, which we love. That is why even during the debate, I blamed Kenyans. Because even us, when we go there, we are telling Kenyans, hatuna kitu. There are some who insist, nibaie chai, nifanye hivi. And we are telling them, hatuna pesa. Tupende bure, mtupe kura. Next time, Roots Party tukiingia, when you're campaigning, politicians will be coming to where you work. You're the ones who will even be telling a politician, chukua 5,000 uende ufanye posters. We want to change that mentality that Kenyans can the campaign should be people driven, not politician driven. So I know what we were lacking is these ideas. Someone who's new, someone who's not afraid. We are here now, and we're telling Kenyans, the time is now. Mungu amesikia kilio chetu.
I'm really proud of you guys, because there's something that is interesting about the Kenyan culture. The Kenyan culture, we are hypocritical. We like to pretend that we're very holy and we're very saintful, but a lot of people are quickly to judge, what Jakoya is talking about and spoiling the children, but we're not holy. and we're not saints. Everybody has flaws. Everybody's talking about Sakaja and not having a degree, but everybody has something in their past. When you start picking on someone because they've done one wrong, I've made mistakes in my life. I've made mistakes. And I'm not perfect.
Yes.
But we want to pretend we want a and that's why I feel like they're shaping almost Baba to be like a messiah, the second coming, freedom, Mandela. And it's like, he's a human being who's made mistakes. Can we base him on... And that's why it's funny, because that person is running on personality and name. Whereas you guys, you're being fought because you're standing on something. You're standing for something. I'm not saying I'm Justina, vote for me. You're saying I'm Justina, I'm a Kenyan, I'm seeing what's happening in the country, and I'm trying to offer solutions. So it's funny because you do something different. Make it make sense.
That is indicative that there's a generational change in terms of, even if it's not age, in terms of even education. Do you know where we sit? You have 3 master's degrees. You've pushed yourself so much to be educated because you're thinking education will be the opportunity for me to get something. But the more you're reading, the more you're acquiring knowledge. But during their time, they didn't see education as important. So actually, I really respect them. And that is why I was saying, what they have done for us in the 30 years, we respect. But probably it's same for them to leave the stage when Kenyans are clapping. Instead of going on and on, they have done their bit. Now they should allow us with Roots Party and Professor George to move ahead and get Kenya to where our time will be. And then we'll move on for the next generation to continue. But maneno ati you're in power, you want to stay there in power. Until when? And you're not even receptive to the plight of that generation, because right now 70% of Kenyans are youth.
And you guys they don't understand us. Because you can say tupo site does not mean that you're that's nonsense. At tupo site, tell me about what I'm going through. Tell me about why I can't go to the bank. Tell me why my governor or my MC. Tell me about the issues that if I'm in a T region, T is affected. Deal with my issues. Don't just tell me at tupo site or...
And then you remember,
you're not offering me freedom.
Do you remember when 2013 the politics, they're saying digital country, digital?
Yes.
Do you know, I think we have even gone back from where Kibaki left us. Kibaki left us registering for CDS account at he wanted to trade shares. Now where are we?
There's no stock market, there's no NSC, there's Kakuzi, companies are just dying, and we're just smiling like, because what pesa is gone, Keroche, like businesses are dying, and we're just like, it's normal.
Actually, this leader is youth receptive. Munenda muna dance hapo. Okay, and then when you go home, you need a leader who understands your challenges as a youth, as a woman, as even parents. Because parents have invested. Let me tell you, education is not cheap. But our parents' vision was that education will enable education is the key, which is not now. So we want you as a Kenyan. Can you evaluate yourself? Even the ones in diaspora, because you're voting. Evaluate yourself and say, you're sending money. They say like 400 and something billion USD. You're sending money at home, but the person you're sending to, is the investment working out? Because you're saving so much at you invest
at
home.
A hole.
Kama ni real estate, hakuna customers.
There's a bubble.
Kama sijui nini, you've given your parents money to do something, it's not working. So you, even in the diaspora, ask yourself, am I happy with the situation that when I send money at home, it's being subjected to sijui taxation, sijui inflation, I don't know what, you're not getting returns on investment. It was even better than you eat that money abroad instead of sending it at home. So we are telling Kenyans, this is the time. This is the time. And I've said our debt is to be paid from 2021 to 2035. If we don't do anything now, that is 14
and that's
years.
1 trillion. Isn't our like what the budget is like 1 trillion? That's our entire budget for 1 year.
But our debt is 9 trillion.
Kai.
That is 70 billion USD. And when you tell Kenyans that even if you're given...
And that's just for the railway that starts at Mombasa Road and ends here.
barabara zingine na expressway, total ni 70 billion USD. Na tukemea wa Kenya hata watupatie basi Kulalu Galana alone. It's a 1 million acre project. China in 2021 had 169,000 that gave 1.2 billion. 169, let's say it's times 5 over Kulalu. So we'll have 6 billion USD every 4 months.
I have a silly question. See, these politicians are rich. See, wali pay deni ya China.
See,
no, if you let them pay, between they're rich, they have money, they pay for us the deni of China we see.
Sasa unajua watalipa because unajua next election Mkenya anataka pesa asijui 200 sijui 50 bob.
But no, Wakenya hataki pesa, Wakenya wanataka a proper Kenya. Give us a Kenya we want.
The Kenya they deserve.
Yes.
I
have some questions from online listeners.
Yes.
And I want to ask you. Someone's asking for accountability. They suggest scrapping the immunity from prosecution enjoyed by presidents while in office. That way they don't get statements like Nifanye Nini Jameni from a sitting president. In the face of corruption in his government. What's Her Excellency's view on the same? That's K. Masika. he's tuned in. He's asking, what do you think about scrapping immunity from presidents? Like, can we go after a president? You know, like, for example, whatever happens, you know.
Yes, it should be done because, you know, you do things and you know, what is it called? You have this superior attitude, they'll never catch me, they'll never do this. I think it should be scrapped. By the way, that makes a lot of sense. Okay. So that when Justina is in power, you can question Justina.
Justina ukiomoka, let's say someone comes and tells you 75 billion tujenga kakitu hapa. You won't be tempted?
I won't be tempted, let me tell you. Mimi ile
pesa ni tamu.
Nakwambia ni tamu, lakini ile shida imetukula. Do you know, even me, I've been through that depression. When I tell the youth that I've been depressed, I've been depressed. There's a time when I didn't get a job, then another auntie of mine akaniambia ataniandika tukwe tunazunguka naye.
Hey, hizo stories.
Hizo challenges ziko. Na my auntie paid me. Ile kidogo nilipata, we did a pilot. We were doing a show called I never finished it. It was called Out There. Out There was, the purpose was to show Kenyans the challenges youth are getting. Sasa mimi nikafanya pilot ati kuuza, my friend, hata pesa yangu ilipotelea hapo. I was so depressed, I didn't have money mbele nyuma. So I know what you are going through. My thing is, and I'm even telling my friends, you don't necessarily need to be Justina's friend. Our agenda is that wewe ekele industrial hemp yako will get your market, have your own money, eat maneno ya tender deals.
So it's not actually because I know Justina or because I know Prof, I'm going to be successful. You know, because it is in Kenya, if you're with the government of the day, utakula. So you know the guys who've been eating. So when you're with the guys, you eat. So it's my time to eat kind of scenario. That's where we live.
But they do that because of scarcity mentality. No government has given opportunities for growth. Unaona? No other government has given opportunities for investment or employment. Sisi tumepeana hiyo opportunity.
What happened to free education? Because when I hear people talk about paying for school, I'm get confused because Kibaki gave us education, but then people are still paying for school. What, did we not get school or what happened?
Because the government cannot allocate your pesa. So alikuwa nasema allocate I don't know how many billions towards free education.
Because you're not supposed to pay for school and you're told not to, but when you go to a school to try and enroll your child, you're asked for money. So
unaitishwa because there are things like watchman nini watamlipa aje na government haimpati. Government is giving books, sengem naambia mnunue vitu. Unaona? So when we say government is broke, we are meaning exactly that. If they cannot fully implement a project like free primary education, free secondary education, you're seeing high school teachers, principals are complaining.
Imagine.
That you're forcing us to take double the intake of the capacity na mjajenga mashule. So si tunawaambia our government tutakuwa na pesa industrial hemp, we'll be able to do most of these projects, even if it's not at a go, but in trenches we'll be able to achieve something that is quantifiable.
People have said they want to come for the concert.
Yes.
You sell them tickets, they'll buy. They've already said you sell them the tickets. They're going to buy tickets to the concert.
Yes.
Wengine wanasema wanakuja tunnel. Someone's asking, her name is Ceci Senti. She's asking, how does it feel to be in the political limelight? That's her question for you.
I'm so humbled.
You're the beautiful talk of the town, and it's not because it's because you're different and you're offering. You're intelligent.
Ceci, I'm so humbled. Yani mi nimeamini Mungu yuko, and your dreams are valid. I'm humbled.
Yes.
Galanu
Kalalu is trending because you mentioned it. So people are wondering what you're talking about. But we have land in this country.
Yes.
We have people in this country. We have the manpower. We have the land. And Justina, the leadership no tumekosa.
Bad leadership.
Tumekosa leadership.
Nani wanafanyanga wana propel bad leadership? Is us Kenyans. Unakuja na mobilize yetu unapatiwa ati 20k, you mobilize guys wakule 50-50. Hiyo tamaa ndio inatumaliza. Let me tell you, and that I'll say what Prof always says. Ours, we've given you options. We've told you this is the alternative, but you have the right to choose. Kama unataka kuendelea kuteseka, sisi tushakwambia. So it is up to you as a Kenyan. Ebu tingiza hivi kichwa ukitingiza mti. Ujiulize, are we moving in the right direction? Because it tushapeana options. And you know there's something they used to say, but good leaders are jitokezi. Educated people fear politics.
But look at you guys.
We are here.
You and Prof are very educated. I've read your CV. Yes. I've read his CV. I've spoken to both of you. You're not just book smart, you're street smart, you understand issues. So what is the issue?
What else? Wakenya wanangoja nini?
Wanangoja wazee.
Wanasema ati tungoje 2027. For what? Na shida ndio tuko nayo. We are here with an alternative. So Kenyans, vote for us because we understand, we relate to the challenges. I'm in construction and the challenges we are facing. One, people are not building, purchasing power iko chini. Number 2, fuel imepanda. You know, if you'd fill a truck with 5k, say you can't.
Even 1,000 bob fuel kwa demio haisaidii. 1,000 bob kwa demio haisaidii. Amsewa Uber, Bolt, awezani is making zero because he's spending 159 on fuel. He's buying you from here for 200 bob.
Imagine.
What's the point? Afadhali ya cancel.
Ukipita pale Eastern Bypass, you guys see there are so many lorries parked kwa petrol station. Mtu anaweza fikiria zimeharibika. Hazijaharibika, hakuna pesa. So unashinda unaamka asubuhi uchome hiyo mafuta iko hapo, una job. Customer watu wa kujenga manyumba hawajengi. Mafuta ndio hiyo. You need to pay someone a salary when they show up. So guys are saying wacha hata basi economy imesimama. So Kenyans, this is the time to change to a narrative to move mbele because we are suffering. And other countries will do better than us. Look at Tanzania. The port Kenyans moved their
Rwanda. Slowly our neighbors are going to get better. Ethiopia. And we're going to be... if honestly things don't change, we could go the Sri Lanka way because Kenyans are tired. We're tired.
Jimmy Wanjigi alifanya expose.
Like when he says things, I wonder because when he says SGR so when the people who know these things and do nothing, I can't respect them. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's the thing because hata yeye anatuambia because akukua
after the fact you should have saved us then.
So tunataka genuine leaders, people who want mimi nataka tuishi maisha. I don't even move out from where I live. Tuendelee tu kuishi hapo.
Even as DP utakaa tu home.
Unajua mbona watu wanatorokanga because unaona watu wanakuja kukuombaomba.
Watakukamia.
Lakini mtu akiwa na pesa ya bangi surely hata yeye anatafuta DP
anakupatia chika M-Pesa huwezi badilisha namba na kutumia kakitu
so tunataka hiyo mindset tubadilishe hiyo mindset because we have land. Weed does not need fertilizers, does not need,
and you guys are not saying smoke weed. I want me you hear nothing else from today.
Not smoke.
Prof and Justina are not saying smoke weed.
Yes.
They're saying we can use weed as an alternative for us to get money to build our economy and pay our debt.
Yes.
The weed is not for smoking.
Hapana, hatuna haraka.
Lakini unajua you guys scare them mkisema mta sanitize. Unajua waelewi sanitize.
Sasa unaona kuna hebu niambie tule tu vitu unashanga udi kwa
yes,
room.
But you see I understand, but them they are so scared of even yashwe kama itafanya sijui nini.
Lazima tufanye purification. Unaona hata ukita pasta afanye exorcism. Sana tumianga olive oil. Na by the olive oil ni uimbo. Ukienda Israel they use hemp oil to do hizo vitu dedication na nini. So sisi hii itakuwa tu ya kupurify. Ndio hizi spiritual challenges like corruption, like colonialism that is affecting us, like tribalism. All these things are spiritual in our opinion. We need to exorcise them to purify this country so that we can start on a clean slate.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm really happy.
Yes.
I want to know, what do you want to tell Kenyans?
Dear Kenyans, we are the ones who know where our shoe is, pinching us. We know the challenges you are facing, and we need to move away from the perennial complaining that after every election, we start complaining the next 6 months because government is not working for you. Roots Party is giving you an option that we are here with an alternative so that we can work for you Kenyans, so that you can put money, si kwa mfuko, kwa mkononi wako. You as a parent, you have a vision that your child will be employed and they're going to be independent. As it is not possible. We're giving us the options for exporting marijuana and local economies in the 9 sectors I mentioned. Kenyans, smoking or consumption ni kitu kidogo sana. Let's open up our minds. Let us look at marijuana as a versatile product that will build our economy. And we are not saying that marijuana is the only thing. No. But our role here is to open up your minds and tell you that you deserve better leadership. You deserve a country with no increase of taxes, a country with no further debt, a country that shuns donor funding because Kenya inastahili heshima. So vote Roots because we relate to your plight.
So for me, I've been watching the media and the discussions, and I was very grateful to have a chance to sit down with Professor Wajakoya in the early stage of his campaign. And I'm really happy to be able to sit down with you to better understand what you're offering, what you're explaining. Because the best part about this scenario for me is the more you guys continue to spread your message, you're not sounding crazier. People are actually understanding but you see, you have to continue explaining to them. True. And the media has done a really unfair job, in my opinion. And I'm in the media of covering everybody. When you say that you want to cover only 2 people, or you only want to say that 5% and up, it's not a fair situation because Kenyans should have an ability to look at all the 4 candidates who are running because they're not 50 of them. You're making it sound like there are 59 of them on stage. You can have 4 people on stage and have a discussion. So I'm saddened that the discussion didn't happen, but I'm hoping that in the time that's left that the millions or the undecided voters are able to make a decision that's best for Kenya.
Yes.
But for those who were looking forward to seeing Professor on the debate and did not, do you know why he did not attend the debate? Like, and his irreducible minimum should be respected,
Yes.
but like, what was expectation and what was not met, so that because Kenyans want to see Wajakoya,
Yes.
but we also have to understand it's not his fault. I guess for us who are hoping to see him, what explanation can we get?
The explanation is that Professor has been engaging the media for a while now. Even when I attended the debate, he was engaging them. And his question was that, you're saying they're poll ratings, but are these pollsters independent? So his
Thank you.
argument...
Because there's TIFA, there's Infotrack, there's whatever, but Ipsos, but we know there's bias. We know there is bias.
So you were saying we are only 4, and in the ballot paper we won't have a separate ballot paper for Mwaure and I, or Ruto and Raila. We are all in the same ballot paper. So where are you discriminating us? That his call was that all of them, the 4 of them, including Mwaure himself, Raila and Ruto, to be on the same podium, they can articulate issues. But his irreducible minimums were not met, because the 2 letters he sent, no one responded, and he even stooped low and came there to have a discussion with the organizers.
Today?
Yes, we were there, but the organizers said nothing can be done. So because he felt he's being disadvantaged, remember they brought out the report the other day that during our debate, 34 million Kenyans were watching, but they said our debate with Ruth was watched by 10%.
What?
Yes, that's what they said.
That was the most popular debate that whole night.
They
Your debate was more popular than the mother debate.
They said that, you see now, those are
if you're talking about ratings, what are you talking about?
those are the bias.
When we had Wajakoya by 60,000 listeners, you can't compare that. Wajakoya is popular, Roots is popular.
So if they're already saying that our debate didn't have impact, then he didn't see the purpose of going. That is why he was saying the 4 of them should have been on the same podium to articulate issues, to answer questions from Kenyans. And even he was saying it shouldn't be a must 1 hour. You'd even have 1 hour 30 minutes. It can even be 3 hours.
Exactly.
Let's have a discussion so that
Even 5 o'clock, who's watching TV at 5?
That is the thing. So that, especially this report they brought out during the weekend, that 34 million Kenyans watched, but ours was watched by 10%. Clearly, that was discrimination.
But we watched online. I don't watch TV. I don't listen to the radio. Online is the world.
So you see the biasness was there. So Professor respects you Kenyans. We respect our supporters. But we needed to be respected on that angle. And that's why I'm saying tomorrow we'll be at the tunnel. We'll engage you further. We are going to be with you. The way we have been doing campaigns na nyinyi, tutakuwa pamoja na nyinyi. But please, on that angle, allow us and forgive us if we offended you. But we needed also the media to respect us. That is the reason why Professor did not go. Na pia your concert iko kwa early stages, and I'm happy you're receptive. Tutatoa feedback, tutaambia Njokia atakuwa
tunaweka poster, tunakuja bash.
Mkuje juu hiyo pesa itasaidia kumobilize agents ndio kura zenyu zisiibiwe.
I've been saying this for the longest time. I'm going to go vote, and if I go to my police station and I see Wajakoya doesn't have 1 vote, I know there was rigging, because at the whole na yangu moja, I'm not looking for other people. I only have 1 vote. Yes. As a Kenyan, I only have 1 vote that I can offer you.
Yes.
I have a platform with millions of listeners. We can also offer them an opportunity to hear you out and see what they. But for me, I know my 1 vote, and I want to see my 1 vote be counted, because I want to be part of this change.
Kabisa. Na haba hujaza kibaba. So when you're tusikiza, endeleeni kutupenda, we want to convert the support to votes. Please do not be influenced by someone at your tribe yetu sijui nini. Already ask yourself, your tribe is in power, what are you doing? So let us look at yourself as an independent individual Kenyan. Nojiulize, mimi naumia aje? Serikali yangu itanisaidia aje?
People asking if your social media is you who manages it, and they can follow you. So if you can give them your social media, because
they are very
is it you?
Guys, let me tell you, mine, I manage mine, yes, but mine is this.
Please share that with them so they can follow the original.
Share. Twitter, it's at Justina Wamae. I'm wearing a red coat. Guys, I know there are so many. Mine, I'm wearing a red coat. I even pinned there because I never got verification. Guys, follow me so that I can get verification. Please follow me.
Yeah.
Justina Wamae, that's Twitter. Facebook, Justina Wamae also. I'm wearing a red coat. Guys, the photos are standard. And then Instagram is also Justina.Wamae. Red coat. Similarly a red coat, because I needed my photos to be very, for consistency.
Exactly.
I manage my account. So no one. When
So you
hear that,
see the tweets, you see people commenting and everything.
I see because bado sina pesa and I don't want to engage someone nikose kulipa mtu, but I'm in touch. I manage my socials. But guys, all the socials that I'm wearing a red coat, ni huyo ndio mimi. Aki, please, now when you're gonna parody. I know you're saying things and then I'm seeing Kenyans attacking me.
There's so many retweets and then people, but you see, because there's so many different ones, we don't know which one is which.
Mimi yangu si wameshika ni Justina at Justina Wamae, that's Twitter. Justina Wamae Facebook, Justina.Wamae Instagram. Na mimi nimevaa red coat. I think that one is clear to everyone. Red coat na ile necklace walisema tulipatiwa pale. Hiyo picha ndiko kwa ile the same picture that iko kwa billboard.
Have you heard the Sauti Sol calligraph song?
Let me tell you.
Kasisi wa nini?
Our bangi. I woke up in the morning nikasema, hey.
Because when I was like, is it really her? Because I want to know if you.
It was me.
Me, I was like, yes, OG amesema, OG na recognize.
Imagine alisema ati kasisi wa bangi.
I know, that's huge.
Tumebamba wase tumewa nice. Ebu kwanza utatuwekea hiyo tukimaliza.
We're finishing with that, but you've heard the song. What do you think about the conversations happening and the youth are excited? We're excited.
Yes, and they're saying that in their head they want to lie that they're going to vote for them. Hata fadhali kasisi wa bangi.
Mwetungia kwa kichwa. We're in our heads because change is it's change is new.
Unaona kama wa creatives. Our creatives wanasema calligraph anasema na mimi upenda calligraph anasema ngati ati MCSK juzi ilimtumia 2 so 5 anasema hiyo ni madharau hiyo ni kumaanisha even creatives yani do you know they take loans to produce hizi mangoma
music videos and spend a lot of money
alafu unasikia Kenyans are not able to pay royalties and then MCSK was saying they're going to use the police to enforce. Mimi nauliza unazaje unajua Mkenya akatae kulipa royalties angalia kama if it's a hotel ama kinyozi ama salon Mkenya anakuja hapo hata wewe mwenyewe hauna customers utalipaje royalties so even using police tuna escalate situation
na hiyo police na artist atapata do utaenda na police kuleta fujo artist atapata do
unaona artist atapata pesa but tungetengeneza economy hata Mkenya ana feel enyewe Sauti Sol na calligraph ametoa ngoma kali royalties lazima nilipe purchasing power ndio iko chini na ndio ina prevent so tungeka purchasing power Mkenya apate do angeza kulipa royalties tu hii maneno mengine pia ya hizi skiza tune unasikianga 30% juu imekuliwa na nani 70% because taxes ina affect hiyo impact ya taxes ina affect mpaka msanii sisi kama serikali tunataka ati msanii akulie usanii wake si ati taxes inamaliza si ati wanaenda ati Wakenya walipi royalties because Mkenya atakuwa na purchasing power so me I love Kenyan music yani hiyo ndio favorite yangu na ndio nilipose question nikasema we have musicians who are great we have athletes who are great why is it when it comes to leadership we have I think it's Stockholm syndrome I think inatumizanga tunapenda tu kuteseka but this is the time aki kabisa if you want to change this country vote for Roots Party.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are finishing there. We're adding nothing more, nothing less. I want to thank Justina Wamae for coming through and sharing who she is, what her journey's been like so far, and the vision for Roots Party. We genuinely feel like it's important to share with our audience the different views and the different opinions and the different leaders that are out there so that you guys can make an informed decision. I'm not going to ask you who to vote for, tell you who to vote for, but I'm going to ask you guys to use your heads. I'm going to ask you to not make a rash decision. I want you to really think about, is this person a politician? Is this person a leader? Does this person have policies? Or are they just cute? Don't vote for Sakaja because he's cute. Vote for Sakaja because he's going to do work for you. But this is Sauti Sol featuring Calligraph Jones in my head, playing on Radio 254. My name is Jokia 254, and I love you guys so much. Thank you for listening. We'll be right back.
To me one more time.